any before.
We've got a
At
butterfly
least not
swarm.
in tournament.
All right, Cali has first band pick. Oh, I guess he deferred after rolling higher. So Mapy bans Shadow. Oh, that's interesting. Using the hashtags to gray out the banned songs.
Yeah,
no, that's a really
it
clever
does keep it a
adaptation.
little bit more organized.
I dig it. I dig it. We've also got bands of Together Forever and Illuminate. So it's going to be between Pantheon and Butterfly, the Hyper K remix. Pantheon's out, so we're going to be playing Butterfly, which is a 49 difficulty song for this tournament.
Yeah, that's unusual starting out with, but I'm liking the new format.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like we normally wouldn't like. I remember when a 49 was harder than the hardest song that you would see in tournament. I believe not Try This. What was the song that was? Oh shoot, I'm forgetting now. Give me a second. In the first summer SSSO, was it
Wasn't
Battle
Overkill,
Sirens?
was it?
No, Battle Sirens was the hardest rated song, and it was a 48.
Battle Sirens.
I think it was a 48. That one. The actually hardest song is probably the Blade Chose Me, but we used to like that was the difficulty cap for like our early tournaments, and now you can play harder songs than that in the very first song of the tournament for round one. That's like just an indicator of how much difficulty creep we have had in these tournaments as the players just keep getting better and better as time goes on.
Alright then. Let's see. Alright, are both players ready? Just give confirmation in chat.
Alright, it looks like Cali actually has a slightly higher score than Abysmal on this. Or wait a minute.
Yes, we are looking for Butterfly
Uh,
for K.
Are these the same charts? No, these aren't the same chart.
They aren't. CaliCalicko is on the Delaction remix. Gotta scroll down just one. There we go.
There it is. Alright, so that changes things up a little. Yeah, Cali is 2 ranks above Abysmal on the leaderboard. How much is that by? It's a little hard for me to...
Is that how we're tracking scores right now? I guess Abysmal did advance, so that's kind of a good indicator of Cali's potential for success.
For some reason, I thought Abysmal was playing now. I'm still a little bit tired.
No. This is Mapy. This is Mapy. This is the bracket leader.
Alright then, I'm gonna count down from
Now,
3, and
Mapy
we're going to start
quite
on go.
possibly has never
So,
seen this chart. So.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, very possible. So, as Wei sort of foreshadowed for us, Mapy is sort of already broken PFC. Mapy is like a goated player. There is an entire era where Mapy was just the dominant Speen player. However, Mapy sort of stopped playing competitively and just stopped playing entirely for a while. Basically has come back for this tournament. And so there is no real perception of like where Mapy could be. There's a big question because Mapy's seated, I believe, 4th in this tournament, just above Kick Pig. And there's a big question mark as to like, should Mapy be seated higher because Mapy's historically like a dominant force in these tournaments? Should Mapy be seated lower because there's a big like question mark as to Mapy's play not being as good as maybe the peak of his performances? And so there's big like head scratcher, and I think 4th was what was eventually settled on because I think Mapy's still going to be a tournament favorite. Like,
yeah, I think fourth sounds a bit fair, and that's kind of how I felt about Nick last tournament, because I mean we really don't see Nick that often in between the big Speen tournaments, but that was also right around the time where the Chroma mod came out, and Nick was playing with entirely Chroma notes, so it was still pretty hard to judge exactly how well he was playing or what he was capable of. But
right.
yeah, it is exciting to see Mapy come back from the hiatus, and now we get to see the showing of it.
Yeah, so we have seen a streak break, two streak breaks now by CaliCalicko. So this is now an accuracy battle, which Mapy is great at, first off. But also, Cali's working at a little bit of a deficit, so they're going to have to really clutch it out in order to pull back from this point. I also think it's pretty likely that Mapy FCs, so this might be a map that CaliCalicko has to give up.
Mm-hmm. We've even got a bunch of new charters showing up. I noticed this is charted by Signature MPX, and I've never seen that name before.
Yeah, there have been a number of I mean, I honestly, like, it's kind of evident by the fact that we had to scale back the number of accepted submissions per charter to 3. But there have been so many submissions from different charters in this tournament that we still ended up with over 100 tracks being accepted. So at bare minimum, we've got 35 charters that are being featured in this tournament. Did have a couple more streak breaks out of CaliCalicko. I think that this map is over. Mapy has still got the full combo. Is this a reverse choke? Did Mapy reverse PFC choke?
I haven't seen any missed times at a Mapy so far, so...
Yeah, Mapy missed like the first note, and then that was it, I think. Oh, there was one more. There was one more. Oh, okay, so we know where Mapy's at now.
Mm-hmm.
Mapy with the 3,500 point lead over CaliCalicko to take the first map.
Extremely clean, presumably sight read.
Yeah, sight read minus 2 PFC. Almost a fuck ours.
Unfortunate sort of choke sandwich there, but you can't say that's not clean, so...
I think it would have been more hilarious if that second miss hadn't happened, because Mapy missed the very first note.
Yeah, it's right at the start.
Yeah, we were like, okay, Mapy's already missed PFC. There's not much to talk about here. And then, like, continues to PFC the entire rest of the song. All right, so we are looking for CaliCalicko's pick on the next song. They can choose between Shadow, Illuminate Pantheon, and Together Forever, My Lovely, Lovely Video Game Cartridges.
I want to give a shout out to Half-Light for getting me into AU5 the last year with the showcase, because the guy's got some really, really insane songs, and I don't think I've ever heard an AU5 song where I wasn't just like, damn. Like, this is really good. Consistent artist.
Fair. All right, well, it's going to be Illuminate, AU5 remix. Mapy's like 5 minutes long, let's go. Honestly, I feel that. There are so many songs in this tournament, especially in the end. Like the final stage, minor spoiler alert, where it's like, this song's over 5 minutes long and also brutally difficult, and I'm over it 3 minutes in. Speaking of the finals map pool, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Chicken for charting Together Forever, My Lovely, Lovely Video Game Cartridges. A Camellia song that isn't 60 plus.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, there are a couple of those that I really enjoy. With I think there's one called like Arcology on Permafrost or something. I think the song's called something like that. But that was definitely one of my favorite charts that I've played recently. I don't think it's exactly a new chart, but it's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So, of all of the charters in the tournament, Half-Light as well as Akko are probably the ones most known for doing some pretty wacky shit with sliders. And if I recall correctly, Illuminate is no exception.
Wait, you're seeing it right now. Sure.
I wasn't even foreshadowing, it was right there.
Yeah.
But that was mostly aesthetics. We're going to see probably later
that
in
was
this
mostly
chart a lot that is done, especially with Half-Light. Half-Light does this even more than Akko, with slider shapes that are just very unconventional in the way that they have to be played, with just the way that the slider shapes movement, like that one right there. So this is definitely going to be a slider movement challenge for both players. You see Cali has already broken streak. Mapy has broken PFC. This will be an accuracy battle again. A little bit of an example of what I was talking about, those wide wiggles have about 3 lanes of movement. I think it actually moves into a 4th lane, which means that you cannot really hold the paddle there unless your paddle is like spot on. You might have to wiggle with it. Another streak break on the mat, drink from CaliCalicko. Mapy's still on FC pace, or FC ace, sorry. Also, shout out to Mapy's colors, which makes reading the spins a little harder. Big question mark on that one.
Yeah, I think Mapy's had those spin note colors for quite a while, maybe almost a year as far as I remember. And I've seen them in question many times.
I guess Mapy's basically just reading the brightness of the held note, of not the held notes, the spin notes.
Yeah, that's where I guess the main contrast is. It's just the brightness. But for me, the dark ones would just be too subtle for me to see, especially with like higher dips.
Yeah, that one.
Gonna miss
that
both
pattern
players.
right there. That's.
Yeah, that's really.
I'd say that's the hardest pattern in the chart, and it's not even a slider.
I'd agree, and it's in a 40s difficulty chart. That really fast 1-5-1-5 into tap into further movement. Actually, both players broke streak on it.
Oh, that slider.
Those are some sliders, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, functionally, those just play like straight sliders back and forth, but like that jet movement like is just unreadable for me. I don't know how y'all read slider aesthetics like that. But I'm not playing in the tournament, so it doesn't matter too
slider
much.
shape makes it easier to hit actually, because even if you're not quite lined up with it, you're bound to align with it at enough points of time for it to still count.
I don't know about that. I think if you're misaligned, the slider itself moves slow enough that you're gonna stay misaligned for too long. Alright, a couple more streak breaks out of CaliCalicko. I think Mapy's only missed twice now? So I think that this is probably a shoo-in for Mapy, especially because they did have the lower MS last time.
Yeah, about a 900 base score lead there.
Yeah, and about 2,500 after MS adjustment. Mapy with about 12 MS. Actually had 3. No, that first miss was definitely a slider break. So GG's to Mapy, who will take the first set of this tournament, knocking CaliCalicko into the losers bracket.